Everybody wants to know how to get into insurance. I came over from real estate, so I wanted something that was more recession proof, residual income, but I also wanted to build a legacy for my children one day to take over. So I decided to get into insurance, and it's been great so far. But the real reason why we're here is how to get licensed, how to pass your insurance exam. This is just my personal experience and what I did to prepare and to pass that exam is I took a course through AdBanker. I went through the course. At the end of each little section, they have you take a small quiz. You have to get, I think, 80% to pass it. So I did life and health first. I went through it, passed the quizzes. It took me a week from start to finish, and I was sitting at my state office to take my exam. But what I did was each section as I went through, passed and everything, you get to the final exam, it's not a pass or fail. It doesn't matter what you score, you get your certificate so you can go take your state exam. But I didn't do that. I took the final exam and I actually got like a 50%. I was like, oh, I'm not ready for the state exam. So I actually took that state exam, or the AdBanker final exam, sorry. I actually took it 3 times, and each time my score just kept going up a little bit. And the last time I scored, I think, an 80, 85, and I was like, you know what? I don't want to go schedule my state exam until I'm at least at a 70 or above 3 times in a row. And I did. I took it twice more, a couple hours later, and I scored an 80, 85 every time. And I was like, I'm ready. So I scheduled it for the next morning. Next morning, 9 a.m., I was at the state office taking my exam. And they don't give me a final score, but I passed. So then I come back and I did the property and casualty. And I took it the exact same way. I took the AdBanker course, went through it, the final exam, scored. I think I even scored worse on it than I did life and health. But I just kept taking that final exam. And each time I failed it, I went back and I reviewed the questions that I got wrong, because those are the ones I knew I didn't know the content on. So I went back and would review it, because it would let you see what questions you missed and what the correct answer was. And I would just review those, take the exam again, go back, review that one, what I missed wrong. And I would just keep doing that over and over until I finally scored a 70 or above 3 straight times. And then I scheduled my state exam. On the property and casualty, it took me roughly 2 weeks to get through it. But it was rough. But I passed it first try at state exam. In Indiana, the state exam, I think, cost me $100 to go set to take that test. So I knew then that I wanted to make sure that I was passing it the first shot. I didn't want to throw $100 away. But then after I got that, I applied for my license that night, and I had my license the next morning when I got up. I had approval from the state. And within a week, I applied for my Illinois and Kentucky license and got licensed in both those states. Because I didn't have to retake exams or anything, because I was licensed in my home residence state of Indiana. I was able to get an out-of-state residence license for both those. But my advice on this test, for me anyway, the AdBanker was the best route to go, because I was able to review the questions at the end of what I missed. Because originally, for the life and health, I signed up at a local office, and it was a self-study. They just gave me a book, and I took a quiz at the end of each chapter, and then a final exam at the end, and I just would go get could go and got the certificate and said I was good to go. Didn't matter what my scores were or anything. But I wanted to learn the content. So I took the AdBanker. Like I said, the biggest thing I think that I learned from it was the final exam at the core of the course was going back and reviewing all the questions I missed over and over and over and then retaking the test and, improving slowly but surely. That would be my best advice for the final exam. I would take a course like that to where you get to review the final exam at the end after the ones you missed and see what you did wrong and try to memorize it. And the content from their final exam to the state exam was very, very similar. I felt like it very well prepared me for the state exam. If you get any help out of this, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like, subscribe button so I can post some more content. Thank you.